Hey everyone, Jamie here. Hope you're enjoying these episodes recorded before we are all ordered to stay indoors. Next week we have our best of edition, so please, if you haven't yet, get in touch with us. Let us know your favorite clips, favorite segments, favorite parts where we make fun of Andy, and just tell us and we'll put them all together for you. But enjoy this week's episode.
You have the right to suck my dick, motherfucker. Hello, we're joined by Barbeau, Scurla as we watch 21 Jump Street for this week's episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
That's going in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the Pied Piper of
It's a nice
Redfern?
little...
Jesus is fucked up on Chinese rice wine.
Woo!
So the riffs are going to be hot today.
Man, I love to fucking be Chinese, dude.
Yeah.
I successfully fell asleep at 7 a.m, so I'm also feeling tip-top.
Wait, is that your beer? Fuck, where's
yours.
my... Oh, no, thank you so much, James.
Don't
Can't let
worry
this party
about it.
stop.
Yeah, so what'd you do?
Man,
So
so...
you're Chinese now.
yeah, I've been Chinese. I said this last Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God.
also... Chinese New Year was a month ago. And
Yeah.
by time of
Yeah.
release of this episode, Chinese New Year would have been like at
Ages
least
ago.
2 months ago, probably longer.
I wrote all the copy for the Darling Harbour EDMs for Lunar New Year.
Electronic dance music for Darling Harbour. You work at Home Nightclub?
It's emails.
I know what
He's
what
trying to
an
riff.
electronically delivered message.
Yeah.
What it stands for? It's electronic delivered.
Something like that. I'm just trying to make you seem like a dumb cunt.
Can't
Doing
shut up. Can't shut up. It's my day as a Chinese person on this day of Chinese New Year.
It's Rose's Day as International
Mid-March.
Women's Day.
And Bee's
and
Day.
my day. Just
What's been
because.
around longer, China or women?
Man.
Well, that's
Like,
the
if you
age-old
think-
question.
If you think about
Well,
what
te-
came first.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
technic-
Not Chinese.
Would technically it'd be women, wouldn't it?
I mean, if you're a Bible basher...
Yep. Yep.
But who's to say the first thing crawling out of the primordial ooze wasn't a Chinese man?
Absolutely.
That's
It's true.
Man. And that's how... I don't know.
Isn't
I
it,
can't
isn't
in
it
that
evolution
knowledge,
that
but-
suggests that? Because it was like
How to tank a bit.
they're like the first people were like black, weren't they?
Yeah, you'd assume so.
Yeah.
So I win.
Yeah.
It was... I believe human life began in Africa is the
Yeah.
general consensus. Yeah.
Pangea, is that?
Yeah. Was there human life on Pangea?
Yeah. My pronouns.
That was what-
Because
that-
I was like, I feel like you would know. I don't know.
That's what
No,
I was
posited
thinking.
A question:
But
what came first, women or Chinese?
You seem smart. I don't know.
I just said it with a confident tone. You're like, real question.
What if it was like, oh yeah, the two genders are Pangea and Gondwana land? What if they were the two? It's like you're one of the two, man.
Gondwana land was Australia, right?
Jesus.
Oh,
God,
so
hey, he's
he's
too
dropped the
Not that
microphone
drunk.
'cause
I'm
he's had.
fine.
I think one was like a bigger version of the other one.
Was
So,
Gon-
like,
Gondwana land was like when Tasmania was attached, right?
Yeah, or like everything was together, and then there were another two. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I feel like that's what it was.
But obviously, Chinese New Year came first as a holiday before International Women's Day.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's really Hastings Day.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
Finally.
Think
okay.
about it.
Man, my mother-in-law.
Would you like to specify why?
yeah, maybe that's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, because
We did this
it's just-
last
yeah,
year.
it's
Yeah,
just-
last year on Chinese. New
You're the
Year.
one that says that
I'll take-
everyone could be
I'll take this one.
first
Hastings.
episode.
Please, Jamie.
It's a simple
Go.
explanation. Hastings is Chinese now. Like, that's all there is to
Well,
it.
that's what he said because his wife is Chinese.
Yeah, people can infer that.
Can they? I don't think you'd make that
What if
jump.
this is the first episode that someone
That's what I
is
keep
listening
saying.
to?
That's what I just said
So
to
then
you.
you're just like, with no context, we haven't said what
Oh, my
what
Lord.
we're
Yeah.
listening
People are
to.
just going to think this cool Asian guy is drunk on his wine.
Yeah. He's celebrating his day.
Yeah, so my mother-in-law was lit up today. It was
Yeah.
so sick. 10 minutes after getting there, she was blind drunk. She was like forcing us all to drink Chinese
And she
wine.
likes you, right?
She's a big fan of me,
Yeah.
right? She just starts going like, hey, Andrew, what do you think of Yvette's boobs?
And what did you say?
It's very hard for you not to respond like, I think they're fucking
I just
sick.
fist bumped her and she got the message.
Oh.
No, and I was
Went and
like,
gave him a cursory honk.
well, because apparently her mum's been like thinking about like paying for her to get a boob job for some, which she doesn't like need or whatever. She's got. My wife has
Does she-
fantastic breasts. I
Does
don't.
she want one?
Just like a lift.
Right.
Just like for, very cosmetic stuff. But like, yeah, she wants like a bit of a lift. So her mum was drunk being like, well, do you think she should get a boob job, Andrew? And I was like, I don't want to answer this in front of your mum. Like, I don't
Wait, so is she trying to encourage it or discourage it?
encourage. Or she's willing to do it if it's what Yvette wants.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's gauging the necessity based on
Right.
the husband's needs.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
So you, yeah.
That's what it fucking was.
Gross.
Like,
Yeah, so you were having it both ways by being woke and being like, I don't want to talk about it, but also sliding notes across that said yes with your phone number at the
Yeah.
bom of it.
I don't recall saying I didn't want to talk about it.
I think it was just a piece of paper with the bra size.
Can I have
says-
this? Can I have this?
Please, this.
This says-
Do you have enough?
This says 202J. And his arms folded and winks.
You heard me, Jenny. That's a real
That's my
name.
final offer.
I'm gonna write a number down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slide it across the table. You respond with your counter offer for your wife's bosom. Sorry, daughter's bosom. Yeah, man, it was pretty sick. It was great. I ate a lot of food. I had a lot of dumplings. It was great, man.
Yeah.
Chinese is so much
Hungry.
fun. Like genuinely, it is so much fun. It's a real celebration, you know.
Doesn't hurt that you walk away with a chunk of change you haven't earned in any way.
Hey, whoa, let's not,
Yeah.
let's
or
not.
deserve.
Hey, whoa! I've earned every penny that I was given today. No, it's pretty good. We're actually in a lot of debt for this America trip, and this doesn't even fucking this was a step in the right direction, but we're still very much in debt.
Are you worried that you're just going to be stranded in Tampa and the coronavirus is going to cancel your big wrestling?
We're getting travel insurance, so that doesn't happen.
Does travel insurance cover coronavirus?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, but I
Whoa.
mean, like, you'll still be in Tampa at some point.
Oh, yeah, I
the
might
travel
ju-
insurance
Oh, yeah,
isn't
yeah.
a portal.
That's very much real. Like, I might just end up stuck in Tampa. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you do?
Probably Disneyland 5 times.
Fuck yeah.
Is that in
That's
Tampa?
cool.
It's in Orlando.
It's in Florida. It's close
Yeah.
enough.
I think it's like
Yeah,
a
so it's
2-hour
Orlando.
drive.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yvette can drive.
Yeah, you'll make it.
Yvette, I want to see Minnie again.
Please, we had a vibe.
Hastings
There
isn't,
was real energy there.
Hastings isn't hitting on any of the like women like dressed like Belle
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Little Mermaid. He's going all for the cartoon characters, being like, man, Pluto though, polyamory maybe.
I could tell.
Into it.
I could tell.
You'd be like, you could fuck Goofy. She'd be like, I already do that at home.
Oh, my Lord. I could tell that Mickey had an ethical slut vibe.
I can't wait for you to like message us and be like, man, went to Disney World, got bullied by Goofy, like following you around, comparing ears against each other, and you're just like, nobody even in Florida respects me.
Why did Daffy Duck say I was a bad MC? How did he know?
Oh, I wish I could do a Daffy impression. That'd be fun to say.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, man, it was fun.
Like, oh boy, put your hands together. This guy's very competent comedian. It's Andrew Hastings.
Oh, baby, fuck yeah.
You might fit in Florida.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Me, Flow Rider,
Yeah.
old people,
Hawaiian shirt.
LMFAO.
Weird looking.
Yeah, man. Miami
Bush
Vice.
riders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're even better suited to the all non-Miami areas of Florida,
Yeah.
where it's just like
Yeah.
people wearing Hawaiian
Just
shirts.
the
Yeah.
suburbs, the Warren Buffett country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just explaining open relationships to 70-year-olds.
Well, old
Warren
people
Buffett
love-
country?
They're being
Swingers.
into it.
They
Yeah.
would.
When you said Warren Buffett country, did you mean Jimmy Buffett country?
Who's Warren Buffett?
The
Warren Buffett is the
billionaire
billionaire.
Okay,
Jimmy
I meant
Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett is wasted away in Margaritaville.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I was
right.
like, that didn't make sense to
All
me.
right. Look, Mike Bloomberg territory. Wait, so who's Warren Buffett then?
The billionaire guy. He's
Yeah.
like a New York dude,
He's
right?
like
Yeah.
an investor.
Mm.
Cool.
Isn't he like kind of regarded as one of the good guy like billionaires?
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Good
Like,
There's no, there's,
Billionaire.
there's,
Well, he like gives
there's
a
no good
charity
guy.
and
Oh,
shit.
right,
And, like,
yeah.
is Bill Gates the ultimate good guy billionaire though?
Have
well,
you
they
seen him
seem.
jump
I
over
feel
a
like they
chair?
always got grouped together, like those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Well, Bill Gates, I think, has some progressive ideals, but at the end of the day, you can't become a billionaire without exploiting a lot of people.
I think you can. I think it's possible.
Should we do it?
Tell me how.
Do you,
Write
Jamie,
a book, Jamie.
Do you want me to outlay my 5-step plan?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Well, first
Wait,
I'll
no,
give you.
outlay the 4, and then they have to pay for the 5th one.
Well, I was going to say I give you 1
Very
and 2 as a
clever.
free,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
get 3. But to get 3, you have to tell 3 other people.
Right, so
Oh,
you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
starting
yeah.
Avon.
Step 5 is when money gets in your account. So
Yeah.
you gotta go
Exactly.
all the way.
Yeah, step
to
5.
wait, yeah.
Step 5 is like, yeah, I'm a fucking millionaire. What of it? And everyone just being like, well, I'm not, and you're like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
My-
how I
my
do it.
mum-
Come up with a fucking idea.
Yeah,
that's
just
5.
my story.
Yeah.
My mum's advice to me is always just like, write the next Twilight.
Man, that's not bad advice.
I think-
Like, it's not, but
Young
like,
adult shit. What
Sell
if you
your
did,
soul.
Rose? What if you did a young adult novel about a trans werewolf?
Oh.
why do they have to be a werewolf?
Because that's like parallels the
Transformation.
trans
Right.
experience.
But so could
Except
vampirism.
Yeah, like
werewolves are only
anything where you
werewolves on
like-
the full moon.
I'm trying to
What are you saying?
I'm-
I reckon a trans vampire makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, transpire.
What you're saying is that trans women
Sure.
are men
Non-binary
28
werewolf,
days
okay?
a month. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Or
okay.
gender fluid werewolf.
Yeah.
You
All
could
right,
probably.
can we just finally get some representation up in here and get a goddamn bisexual nymph? I don't know.
Yeah.
Most nymphs, I would say, are probably
Yeah, by
pansexual.
virtue of
Yeah. Pan.
You probably could rake it in. That's an idea. Rose, you should take that. That is my advice.
Delete it from the pod. No one
My-
can take it.
Yeah.
My advice, which you won't take now, because
Yes.
my advice is Hastings is right. You should do what Hastings.
And
now you'll be
now
like-
I can never do it.
This is taking
All
us
right.
our turn.
Here's my advice. All right, I got some real get rich quick advice for all you guys. What you do is you marry a Chinese woman, right? Okay. Then you wait till Chinese New Year. You drink that rice wine, kind of flirt with the mum. You're golden. Don't worry about it.
I think like doing stand up when
She kept
people
asking
like
for durries.
sick.
She was so drunk.
When people say like write the next Twilight, like I think stand up like no matter like older people and friends who aren't used to comedy are just like, so making money yet? And you're like, no, it's like a long process.
Yeah.
And then they're like, YouTube. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
you mean make like it's been invented? Like,
yeah.
How about
They're like, no, go
bet-
on
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, go on.
I've had a lot of people. Yeah, it's like, have you thought about YouTube? Like,
Yeah.
I've had one time I was at
I
a
reckon you have.
I was at like a barbecue. And
I
Wouldn't be
absolutely have.
surprised.
I was at a barbecue and I was hanging out with some people. And this guy who I don't really like, who I didn't know well, was like, "How's comedy?" This was a few years ago. How's comedy going? And I was like, "Yeah, it's going okay."
So you lied to him.
Yeah. He was like, "How's stand up going?" I was like, "I'm just busy."
The
Like,
way that you said that as well implies that you're completely deferent to this guy. Like, was he bullying you?
he was kind of just oblivious. He was a bit of a moron.
Okay.
But he goes,
Was it like, how's stand up going?
yeah,
Your little-
it wasn't that vibe. He like
Right.
wanted to be mates, and I
Right.
did. I didn't.
Right.
So what goes into making your skits? You know.
Well, he goes, how's stand up going? I was like, yeah.
I'll tell you what goes in. The penis into the butt, and then the cum drips out.
It's like, all right, just
Damn,
like,
you made yourself an old-fashioned bit there. You take one part cum and one part an anus. Damn, that's a good butt baby. Butt baby now in Costco.
but yeah, I was talking to this dude, and he goes, "How's stand up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just, I'm getting there." And he goes, "Cool. Have you do you know about this Josh Thomas guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Oh, famous comedian
I know
Josh
who,
Thomas.
I know who famous
Yeah.
comedian Josh
No, I've
Thomas
never
is.
heard of him.
And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, I do, yeah." And he goes, "Cool." So you know how he like he was doing stand up, and I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Yeah," and then he like made a TV show like about his life, and like people love that, and I was like, "Yeah, they do. It's a good show. I'm a fan." And he's like, "Cool. You could do that."
It's always like that. That's
Yeah,
like,
just
that was
people
the
outside
thing.
the industry
Oh,
don't
look,
realize
just
it's
do
like,
the
It's
dream.
Like,
Not easy.
As soon as my mum found out I was doing stand up, she just told every single person in the family. So like every fucking family reunion since then is like, oh, you know Trevor Noah. You know, he's also biracial.
yeah.
Maybe you could work with
Maybe,
him.
yeah, maybe,
yeah.
maybe you should do like,
Maybe like
a
a-
whole
Yeah.
news panel show
Maybe-
or whatever.
maybe a split bill.
Yeah, exactly. Write a book. It's fine.
I think people just get excited to say the word gig as well, you know, because they don't say it. And, you know, it's an addictive drug. Like, but I could tell you, I've got a little game for you. I could tell each of you how you'll get rich from comedy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. B, YouTube. You're definitely got a good YouTube vibe.
I
Yeah.
think that YouTube's over.
I think
It's TikTok for me, bro.
Hey, Beehive. It's your girl
Yeah,
Bee
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Hi, what's up?
It's your girl
Hey,
B.
It's the Queen Bee here.
Oh, God.
This is B
Kill
with the
myself.
Barbeau Scurla report, which means BS, and she's talking about shitty trends.
Oh,
I think that's Barbeau Scurla.
My
So
little worker bees could rate, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Fuck, we got to go and start this channel later today.
Yeah.
It's truly a no-brainer.
Do it.
we're gonna see an Instagram story of you guys at drinks later, just being like, "Hey, Beehive," and I'm gonna be like, "All right, my account
Hey,
details."
Rosebush.
Yeah. And then that's when I'll message B and just send her my account details. Rose, you're gonna get big from storytelling hour-long comedy, like
Yeah.
a succession of it.
I actually wouldn't hate that, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Hastings, novelty shirts.
Yeah. Well, we've been saying this for years, Jamie.
Yeah, well, who do you think's his business partner?
Well, hang on. We've all got to now collaborate and figure out how Jamie does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
well,
Um,
true.
Well, me and Hastings were going to move to Bali and sell
Yeah.
the novelty
This-
shirts.
We've been playing for 5 years. Yeah.
Oh, so you're just the manager of all these.
Well, we've
like,
also just we also like I think a year ago we sat down at a pub and came up with about 20, and we were just like, man, if you take these down to Bali, like if you
Yeah.
just like did it, kind of on the DL, like you just got them made, you put them in a bag and took them and sell them, like kind of black market's the wrong word, but sell them
just down at
independently.
the market.
Yeah.
sell
I
them
think
on the
you'd
street.
fucking rake it in, and then before long, me and Hastings phoning home, being like, Amy, Yvette, bad news.
Bad news.
We're not coming back.
We're not coming back. I'm too busy getting these mushy shakes, brother.
Yeah. Good news. We're sending you 25,000 rupiah. Sounds good. It's nothing.
Enjoy 1 week's rent.
If you,
Conversion rate.
if you can remember any of them, would you be willing to like?
I'll see if
'cause
I
it-
have the document in my phone.
it-
Yeah, I
still.
think we wrote them down.
Because
Oh,
it would
that's
like
crazy.
copyright it, surely, if you're like, these are our ideas. Like
They were all
say,
pretty
pod.
foul. Was
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah, they're so bad. Like
Well, the point was that they had to kind of be purposefully offensive because that's where they would sell.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we're
just
going
people
to...
come back with like that little like wristband
Yeah.
thing that's like all fancy, like sewing and whatnot, but just says like cunt.
Yeah. Well, you're not fucking selling a myth, like the Man the Myth shirt at General Pants. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But in Bali, everyone's wearing them, then they're going in the garbage, and they
Yeah.
get recycled into their beautiful second life as a gym shirt.
My friend's little brother had one which just had the McDonald's logo, but just said motherfucker.
Oh my God.
That's sick.
Yeah, I reckon it rules.
And because it's in Bali, you can just rip off intellectual property at will.
Yeah.
It's almost like international waters.
Like what you get the
I just
International
went
what,
into- I just
sorry?
went-
international waters.
Yeah. yeah.
I just went into mine and Jamie's Facebook message chat, like a private one, and just search the word shirt. I'm going to read some highlights of just messages that contain the word shirt. as well.
Okay, great.
I bought a band shirt tonight. Let's organize a wet t-shirt competition.
Wait, can we add to this game?
One of
and-
the shirts
can we-
that just
Hastings,
said-
hold on.
Yeah.
Can we add to this game and have Rose and B guess who was saying it?
Okay, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool. All right, I bought a band shirt tonight. Who said that?
I think that was you.
No, that was Jamie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Weird.
let's organize a wet t-shirt competition.
I think that was probably
That was
that
Hastings.
was probably yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
man, the amount of games we've invented for this
All
podcast.
right.
Yeah.
One of the shirts should just say titties.
Hastings.
I'm gonna go with Jamie.
That was Hastings.
So who's ahead right now? I think B. It's 2
Me,
to
I'm
1 to
on
B.
three.
Yeah. Oh, no, 3-1.
3 to
Yeah,
1.
3 to 1.
All right, here we go. He wants a shirt that's the Sistine Chapel painting, but instead of touching God, it's you fisting.
Jamie.
Yeah,
That was Jamie
Jamie.
in reference to me.
Yeah.
That was your mate Davis
Yeah,
wants
yeah,
a
yeah,
photo
yeah.
of me.
Yeah.
4-2.
Yeah, man. I want to get a line of t-shirts. Pulling cones, wrecking homes.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Woke
one.
till I croak was one we were working on for a while.
Oh, are these the shirts?
Yeah,
Right.
I found a few. We had this was on your right. Fuck, this is from years ago, Jamie.
Wait,
It's one of the great ones.
was it woke till I croak?
Woke till I croak.
Yeah.
It's a thing Tom Sanderson actually said
Oh
once.
my
Yeah.
God.
He claimed to be woke till he croaked.
Yeah.
But no, what was Jamie's idea that I just had? Yeah, there we go. So you remember the emo music tour Taste of Chaos from the late 2000s?
I do.
Can't say
So
I do.
Jamie wanted to do a parody of that, like logo and like font and stuff, but it just says Haste of Chaos.
Oh, I remember this.
Jeez.
I remember that.
Yeah, we had heaps.
Weren't you going to call a show that or something like that?
I got a lot of names in the works.
The Haste of Chaos tour needs to be you and multiple comedians, like the kings of comedy.
Me,
essentially.
Jackson Stewart.
Yeah.
The other Energy Boys.
Yeah. The other one, I just thought of one on the fly because we were talking about like ripping off intellectual property. It would be cool to get the Burger King logo and write Boner King.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like
good.
that would sell.
That's good. That
Yeah.
would fly off the shelf.
What about one that says Microsoft and it's just a photo of Hastings' penis?
What
I
about
feel like that exists.
Yeah.
would you
probably.
get? Would you get?
I get erections sometimes.
Would you get? Rose, would you wear one that's kind of like a car bumper sticker that's like my other penis is a vagina?
Yes, actually.
There we
You
go.
should get that as a tramp stamp.
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to, I think fishing culture is really funny. So I've just always wanted to wear that shirt that says, the wife said if I went fishing one more time, she'd leave me. Gee, I'm going to miss her.
my mate Sarah, who you met, she used to collect fishing shirts
Yeah.
and would wear them to nightclubs and shit.
I want
They're
the
so
one-
funny.
It's so
Like,
funny.
I want the one that says,
Born to
women
fish.
want me, fish fear me.
That rules.
That would be good.
Oh man, absolutely.
Born
Yeah.
to fish, forced to work.
What's everyone else been up to? What else has been going on?
Just thinking up t-shirts.
Just thinking up
basically.
t-shirts for the millionaire.
Just
Yeah.
trying to assign different comedians
Yeah,
ways
yeah.
to make money.
All I do is hang with you and a small group of extended friends, talk about open mic comedy, and then I go home and stare in the middle distance and wait for Final Fantasy VII Remake to come out. It's a pretty sweet life, actually.
Yeah, that sounds chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we do is we hang out and then we go home and then keep messaging each
Yeah,
other.
exactly. Lots of screenshots are shared between me and Rose's friendship.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, sounds unique.
Well, I think that because there's a whole fucking new area for shirts to do stuff like that. Be like,
Screenshots.
yeah, it's like if you like it. Well, no, it was just like if you went in my photo album, it would just be tons of screenshots of me and my gals, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I want to get a bitch of the week t-shirt, just like
Yeah.
a Seizure Kaiser bitch of the week. Oh, I'm not hiding that I don't like him anymore. He was hassling my wife.
You're fucking beefing, dude.
Yeah, he was hassling my wife, so it's like whatever. I'll make fun of him publicly now. I don't give a shit.
This is all leading to a calculated roast battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've planned this.
Yeah, dude,
years
we're
in
playing
advance.
12D chess right
Yeah,
now. Don't worry.
So as long as
yeah.
it doesn't fuck up the shirt making enterprise, I'm
No,
happy.
don't worry, dude. If anything, it's just gonna help that business boom, baby.
You can sell them at the roast battles
Man,
too,
finally.
because you could get alternate bitch of the week shirts. One that has you, one that has seizure,
Yeah.
and then like
Should we give any context for what we're talking about?
no,
I have no idea what's going on, so...
It's just a guy who
just
has.
Hastings is beefing.
I'm
Yeah,
beefing
right,
with
alright.
beefing with a local comedian. Don't worry about it.
Well, I've been unwillingly forced into a feud with a Melbourne trans comedian. and
Rose
I'm
is beefing too.
I'm so worried that I'm going to get down there for Fest and they're going to be like, we should do a roast battle. I'm like, no, I don't care. Like,
You should do it though.
Do they have roast battles in Melbourne?
Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
don't. It's not very nice.
I think that
Yeah.
she wants to be friends with you.
yeah, it seems like
I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
I think it is.
she's probably listening to this podcast right now.
Hello.
I'd be surprised if she got through 2 minutes. Like,
Well, I'm surprised when anyone does, but
that's
like,
true, yeah.
Man, I'm
Get your plugs in now.
surprised that they got through 2 minutes. What are you, my wife, when I have sex with her?
yeah,
Oh, God. Oh, I hate
man,
this.
it's so hacked to do
I'm
bumping
carrying
mics,
the
but
pod.
it's so. It is hacked to
We had
bump
a very
mics, but it
visceral
is
reaction
so
to that.
fun.
Satisfying.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Jamie. Do you want to kick this off?
Well, we've been fucking firing. I've been making up games on the fly.
You got any more
true.
games? I like playing games.
I can
You
think
should
I.
reinvent the podcast so it's just games that you make. You
Well,
should
let's
just be
see.
a
That's a
games
good,
master.
it is probably a good idea to maybe do games in the preamble a little, and then movie talk, because games, no matter how kind of obscure they are, it could even be like, who's your favorite energy boy? People would be like, oh, I like that they're so enthusiastic about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I'm
don't
not
want to
saying
play
do.
that game.
I'm not saying do it, but go.
If I had to pick my favorite energy boy,
Wait, hold on. Who's in the Energy Boys?
Local comedians.
it's Jackson.
That's
and,
it.
Yeah.
Local
Yeah.
comedians.
It's Jackson and Jackson, the Double J batteries.
Yeah.
Isn't Barry Walsh one of them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barry Walsh
Walsh
is the
is-
third one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and the Energy Boys are tight. I offered to become an Energy Man, and they
They.
They were like, no, you're still a boy.
They busted it down to Energy
they were
Baby.
apparently it was a running bit within the Energy Boys to accuse each other of like, oh, you're going to get replaced by Hastings.
That's Funny.
Did they tell you that is a kind of like this does sound
That's fun for them and you.
yeah.
It no one else.
Also, it's I've said this before to you about things that people say about you, but that very much has a tinge of I think you're cool, Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Jamie, I'll take what I can get.
You
know
just
what I
like your
mean?
name being in the sentence.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. To be thought of is to be loved. You know what I mean? Good or bad. It's as long as people are thinking about me, I'm happy.
interesting.
You're like Marlo Stanfield. You just want your name to ring out on the streets.
Yeah, at the
What's
very
it about?
end, in the final episode of Open Mic Comedy,
Hastings
goes.
My
to-
name is my name.
Hastings goes to campfire, bombs, and just stands there, being like, "Look what I've created."
In the street, saying I bombed.
I've never bombed. It's never happened. It's never happened.
Damn. I'm trying to think of more shirts now.
Shirts or games?
I was trying to integrate talk to the hand, but make it about jacking off. I thought that could work.
Don't talk to the hand; it's busy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And it could be like going
It's
down.
like a hand that's printed on the
yeah.
shirt, so it looks like it's reaching into the pants.
Yeah. Or don't talk to the hand. It's covered in my own cum.
That's good.
That I think crosses over where comedy fans might buy that one.
Yeah.
Whereas a dad in Bali will be like, my hand's not got I don't beat off. I have sex with my wife all the time.
Well, I always liked it
talk
when
to the hand because my face has cum on it.
I always liked that Cambo for a while was rocking up to gigs with a shirt that said "I'm a comedian. What's your superpower?"
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I love that.
It's so funny. And wearing the
Yeah.
glittery Bill Hicks "It's Just a Ride" shirt.
Yeah, that's
That
tight.
was great too.
That's sick. Oh man, what'd you guys get up to this weekend? I went shopping yesterday.
I don't know if you can hear me sniffling, but
Oh, buddy.
She's got a cold.
yeah, I got the sniffles.
Oh no.
Man. You got that coronavirus, dude.
I might.
You
Like,
know, I'm
one
on
of
the
the-
front lines, dude.
One of the people I was hanging out with last night is a nurse who's just been like kind of put in the unit of RPA that is dealing with coronavirus. And then I was talking to my friend Ollie, who's
Interesting you tell us this 26 minutes in.
Yeah.
Now I feel very scared.
but don't buy into the hysteria.
Yeah, but the point, this is a comedy podcast. I'm not getting to the point of why we should.
No, please. We want to hear your opinion.
I have to know because of my job. The point isn't that we're all going to die. The point is like economic impact from like a huge, because it's so easily communicable, but it's not actually dangerous, which is like dangerous in and of itself because it's not a low. It's complicated.
They done got it in my building at work.
Yeah, my building, I might end up.
What, someone
having
got
to
it?
isolate and shit.
Someone got it, but then like it looked like a hazmat team walking around. I say look like because I saw a screenshot on Reddit. I have not been in my office for a very long time.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do know this.
Which is why I'm ahead of the curve, baby. I fucking predicted coronavirus a year ago when I
You
stopped
didn't tell
when I
us.
stopped showing up to the office. I'm WHO, baby. Work from home organization, you know?
I'm going to an event that has 100,000 people at it in 3 weeks, and like
Aren't we going to an event that'll have like 20,000 people in 2 weeks?
that's true. But then a week after that, I'm going to an event with 100,000
I think Download
people.
might get cancelled last minute.
I think WrestleMania might get cancelled last minute as well, and I'm be so bummed if that happens to either of them.
They're gonna cancel Coachella, I believe.
Yeah,
Crossing my
but-
fingers that they're going to cancel the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
I mean, it
I have
makes
no
sense
plans,
to
so-
cancel.
yeah.
Yeah, this is all going to be so dated by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Either we're all going to be dead or the epidemic will be over.
Yeah, well, what was the Zika? Do you remember Zika?
I do.
It's like the Coney 2012 of diseases.
Swine
Well,
flu.
even
There was
Ebola as well was a huge scare as well.
swine flu. They fucking
Yeah.
beat that up massively.
SARS.
Yeah, SARS.
I'm pretty sure I got swine flu.
Maybe heaps of people got it.
Yeah, I had like a really bad flu for 2 weeks in 2009 when that was all happening, and my parents were like, "Yeah, you probably just got it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, just write it out." Like,
You are a swine.
I didn't live at home. I lived in Manly at the time. I lived with my girlfriend, but yeah, they were just like, "You got swine flu. Stay home." I was like, all right.
Yeah, no one cared. They're just like, it's just like a normal flu. You get a week off work. Who gives
Yeah.
a shit?
But yeah, the issue with coronavirus is it's possible that at like any one point, like 40% of the workforce could call in sick, and the economic impact of that would be gigantic. Like,
Right.
the issue isn't that we're all going to die of being sick. The issue is that, we're all
Well,
going to get
I've
sick.
got a new game.
Yeah.
This isn't really a game.
How are you
so
gonna
In which
die?
order are we going to get coronavirus?
No. This isn't like,
Number one.
This is.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
immunity.
You've
is
got like
fucked.
you have like 3 white cells in your
Yeah, I do.
entire
No,
body.
Hastings would obviously get it first.
I
Chinese
haven't been
wife,
sick in
Chinese
like a
family.
year.
B
works-
gets sick all the time.
I get sick all the time. And this has been the longest time I've been sick, and I had tonsillitis in January. This is the longest time I haven't been sick.
I haven't been sick for like a year now.
Yeah,
That's
I've been good
crazy.
lately.
Nah.
I keep
Not
getting
me.
false dawns where I get like really tired and I start getting scratchy and I'm like, here it comes, baby. I'm gonna call in sick, and then I feel fine the next day.
Yeah, I've had a few colds and shit over the year.
I've never called in
say.
sick to my current job.
You've only been
How
working
long
there
have
like
you been there?
4 months.
That's
Normally-
that's actually probably pretty good for
It's
him to be
very
honest.
good for me. I'm a big call-in sicker.
for him. That's like the mental health care workers are like claiming that they're like trying to make a public holiday.
Yeah.
My question, the game,
Right.
more of a question for all three of you. What's the worst coronavirus joke you've heard? Or if
Ooh.
not, make one
I was
up.
just going to post one.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one that you showed me.
The one that I sent B earlier today. I wanted to, because I've seen so many people trot it out as though they thought about it. I was just trying to twist on that slightly and said, like, you know what would go great with coronavirus? Lemon disease. And then just a shitload of laughing, crying emojis.
That's actually not terrible.
I saw one the other day that said, you know how like its proper name is like COVID-19?
Yeah.
Like the proper name of it. I've seen a lot of like that looks like a Jira ticket jokes, which if you've ever worked in any kind of like,
It does, actually, yeah.
it's very funny.
Yeah.
But it's also
Weird.
kind of like, you're all fucking losers.
Fucking hated that program.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good, but
I think the ones I hate is just like any kind of comparison to the beer.
Yeah.
It's just like
yeah.
the easiest.
I saw
thing.
like a non-ironic Lyme disease one the other day, like coronavirus goes well with Lyme disease, like on Facebook.
I saw that on-
Normie.
I've seen it
I-
about
yeah,
4
yeah.
times.
I saw that on-
people,
yeah.
But
like-
mine was like 3 days ago.
They're all-
I saw that on.
same.
I saw that on
exhausting.
Facebook for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's all
Maybe it was a mutual
people
friend.
that I knew from the Shire. Who,
I've just
still
like
live there.
completely switched off from it all because I'm just like I don't care.
You're
Yeah.
too busy
I'm
dying of coronavirus.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm too busy dying of so many
mean-
other diseases.
Yeah,
Yeah, you might have an immune system problem.
Yeah, I know.
I did
That's what
like
they
that,
keep telling me.
yeah. Weird Al tweeted out, "I'm not going to do my corona."
Yeah.
Which
I
was
saw-
my worst joke because I've seen someone do that at a comedy club.
Oh, we used to sing that
Yeah.
like at parties when we were in like year 10.
Oh, like the 9 coronas thing. Yeah, that's like already like a thing.
Yeah, no, I saw a guy recently. Yeah, I can shit on this guy. I saw a guy recently, a musical rock comedian who
Oh, yes.
who started
There's
off
many a
the
tale
set
of this
by
guy.
like you could tell immediately. You were just like, I could get this because it's just like da 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 da,
Yeah.
and you're just like, here it comes, and then he just starts going, and he did that for like 2.5 minutes before eventually saying my coronavirus, and then he was like, now you've all got it. And it was just like, and it crushed.
Oh man,
There was
that's
a-
such a
it
bummer.
was
That's
so
the thing,
bad.
any kind of mention.
A
of
guy
it as
did
well
that
has
in
been
your
doing
Raw
so
semi
much.
this
Oh,
week.
yeah.
The old guy came out and I fucking loved it. He was so good.
Yeah,
Just like
what was he
this really
saying?
hammed up pretending to sneeze on an audience member. It was so good.
Yeah. I fucking hate that shit. like any kind
Beck
of,
and
like,
I just lost our mind, and like all the people in front of us like turned around
It's just
because
like,
we were just
so
laughing
insane
so
'cause
hard.
It's just like, yeah, I hate any kind of reference to it. I'm like, don't try and be topical about something everyone's fucking talking about.
Yeah, you can't.
Shut up.
You can't
I'm
have.
not interested. Shut up.
You can't have an original take.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Can you?
I've had so many original takes.
What's
Do you want to hear
yours?
some of my original takes?
Absolutely.
All right.
Not really.
First of all, they should have made the whole plane out of the fucking black box. All right. Second original take.
Shout out to a former guest. Tim Clark's series of tweets on that are so funny.
So
yeah,
good.
the first guy to make an airplane joke, black box joke.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Saved.
Second original take I've had, airline peanuts, why they decided to get open. Third original take, the Jews, why so many? What can we do about them? Fourth original take.
you know, what's the deal with lampshades? You buy a lamp, why you want to shade it?
Yeah, absolutely. Fifth one, we must
fading.
maintain a future
I had
for
a
our
whole
white
bottle
children.
of Coke and I'm still fading.
Well, it's Coke Zero. There's no
Yeah,
sugar to keep you
but
going.
there's caffeine.
That's true.
Yeah, imagine if
But
Coke
it's
Zero
not
also.
enough.
What if the drink Coke Zero also gave you the sniffles?
Because of cocaine.
All right. Well, Rose before was all right. Well, I'm not gonna,
I liked your takes though.
Thanks, man.
That Jew one you seem to sneak in there. But
Yeah, I also did a thing afterwards about the future of white children.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
Yeah, 14 words.
That I purposely talked over.
Look, B, it's not your
Don't worry.
podcast.
B,
You're
don't
not.
worry.
You're not responsible for what I say.
Yeah.
B, don't
I
worry, we'll fix that in the
still
edit. We'll raise
feel
Hastings way higher.
Yeah, it's like guilty by association.
Yeah. It's like letting it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
know?
stood by it, like Seinfeld.
Or it's like the only thing for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good men.
Yeah, that's me.
Men.
Humankind.
Nah,
Yeah.
don't try and get in on it.
Nah.
Anyway, welcome to We'll Just Tell Your Mother We Ate It All, a podcast about teen sex comedies and things thereabouts. Today,
Hello.
we are doing 21 Jump Street. It's a 2012 American buddy cop action comedy film directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, written by Jonah Hill and Michael Bacall, and starring Hill and Channing Tatum, an adaptation of the 1987 and 91 television series of the same name. Film follows two police officers who are forced to relive high school when they are assigned to go undercover as high school students to prevent the outbreak of a new synthetic drug and arrest its supplier. And we have a guest this week, B. Barbeau, Scurla, returning champion. Hello.
Hello. It's good to be back.
And I'm Andrew Hastings.
Hastings is dead.
He's gone
He
catatonic
stopped.
then. Yeah.
I was just waiting, dude. I've gone dormant. I'm in sleep mode until it's time to riff again. Don't worry about it. No, I'm gone off this rice wine.
How much did you have?
Like 4 or 5 of them.
This always happens we intro and then immediately stop talking about
You
it.
drink them out of shot glasses, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. Yeah, it was a good
Just
day.
keep drinking.
They're not shot glasses,
I
though,
am-
aren't they? Those
You
little,
won't.
like, kind of
You haven't
like
taken a
white
sip in a
cups. It
while.
looks like a tiny bowl.
See, look, there your
Sake
energy's
cups?
back now.
I
You!
think the rice
He's
wine is
popping
Although
up.
that's
shot glass.
Japanese. So
Me and a few mates went to Korean fried chicken the other day, and we got this drink in a
Yum.
little
I'm
bowl, and it was like a banana flavored rice wine, and it was just
Oh,
like drinking cat
sounds
milk. It was
horrible.
gorgeous.
Ugh.
This Chinese rice wine is
Cat milk?
Yeah, we were just like, oh,
What's cat
we're
milk?
like little cats.
Oh, right. Yeah, cute. Like lapping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I thought there was a specific type of milk for cats, and I was like, where do you get it?
No,
or
there
they've
is-
milked the cat.
Yeah.
there is
Yeah, we went out and we jacked off some cats at a Korean restaurant.
I've got nipples, B. Can you milk me?
there is specific milk for cats that doesn't have lactose. Second of all,
Maybe I need that.
yeah, you have a lot of immune problems and also probably a lactose intolerance.
Yes.
What was I saying before?
You're a cat.
Oh yeah, Chinese rice wine. So like sake, like the Japanese one is like 20-30% alcohol, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
The
yeah.
Chinese one's like 53% alcohol, stronger than anything I've ever had
Damn.
before or since. It's fucked.
And who was drinking the most?
That's mum.
Were you doing like the Indiana Jones Raiders of the
No,
Lost
I
Ark?
was.
Yes.
I was committed to it.
Movies.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't pulling that move.
We've got a director here. Let's bring it back to
I'm
movies
actually not a
occasionally.
director.
We've got a writer here.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
a podcaster
We've
here.
actually got a producer,
We've
which
got a
is
stand-up comic
we've
here.
got a
We've got an
produ-
open mic comic here.
I like that we finally get a producer on the pod. The thing that we definitely need the most, and we will just talk over her.
Yeah, it's fine. And I'm also a woman.
All right. Well, I mean, I didn't
You are
notice.
talking over me.
B, we've
I don't know
got
what
one
you're
of
talking
those.
And we talk over her all the
Yeah.
time.
That's true, they
Although
do.
you talk over a lot of people.
Yeah, but I think Rose is a worse talker over than anyone except me.
You're all
Yeah, thank
equal. Talking over each other.
Yeah, we're all bad broadcasters. Is the main takeaway here.
There's just so many riffs firing, you know? You got to keep up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I
man.
like to think people will listen twice, and then each time they'll listen back to a different
Yeah,
person.
maybe you get a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
maybe you get a different take on the joke the,
The
second
more you
time
listen,
through.
the funnier it is.
You know how
Exactly.
Monty Python famously did.
Stockholm syndrome, actually.
You know how Monty
That's good too.
Yeah, yeah.
It works.
I'll take that if all our listeners have that.
Monty Python did a 3-sided album.
Too scared to
Have you heard
leave
about
us.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that.
I'm pretty sure my dad had that.
You got to listen to this 3 times to get every layer of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should talk about this movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
I hadn't seen it. And
Oh, haven't you?
Really?
Man, I
Interesting.
should.
At all.
no,
It's
I
a
hadn't.
classic, dude.
Yeah, I watched it with Geordie this morning and he hadn't seen it.
Yeah,
Geordie,
I-
my housemate for context.
I hadn't seen it, and I don't feel particularly bad today, despite last night. But
Cocaine's not that bad a hangover drug.
it's not. I also didn't drink that much.
Yeah,
But,
then you're going to be fine. As long as your nose is clear.
Yeah, I had a good blow in the shower.
Yeah, then you're fine.
Oh,
Me too, dude.
Stick.
Man, can I just get in a
And I
quick
also
brag?
cleared my nose out.
Can Can I get in a quick brag?
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
sex
what?
today.
Did
I had
you
sex
have
with my
in-
wife this morning.
In the shower.
Wow.
It's not a brag if it's your wife.
I think it is even more of a brag.
I actually kind of agree with Hastings because also people like hearing it way less, which makes it way
people
funnier.
It's not a cool
Find it
story,
annoying.
but it's
Like a few months ago, I was like, I had sex twice today. People were like, oh my God.
Gross.
people.
I
Also
would argue though maybe it's a little less gross than being like I had sex with my long-term girlfriend.
Yeah. Then you
Because the
assume-
wife thing has the cliche of like, well, now we just never have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose
Well,
so.
people assume
I
you don't
think
have
all
sex.
sex is gross. So
This is true. That's why you're a virgin.
yeah. One day. It will
anyway,
change.
It's not that good.
I did, but anyway.
Warm apple pie.
Yeah. But I didn't feel that bad this morning. But I wasn't in the mood to watch a movie, as is often the case with this godforsaken podcast. But
The trick is to get real stoned and just put it on anyway.
I don't think that's the trick.
I think
Yeah.
that's the
I
trick.
think it's a coping mechanism.
I didn't do that. But
You say potato, I say potato.
but very quickly, I was just like, oh, hang on, no, this is great.
It's
why has
fun.
no one
21
made
Jump Street is.
I was like,
So
why has
funny.
no one made me watch this before?
I'm
It's
surprised you haven't seen it.
fantastic.
It's
So-
sick.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Because that's the interesting thing. Like, I think it's a good movie, but you can also tell that it is from 2012. Like, there
Yep.
are quite a few things where you're like, ooh, okay. Like,
Yeah, sure.
a few, like, patchy areas and stuff, but it's still funny.
Which ones in particular? I wasn't paying that. I was
Oh,
playing
right.
because my coping tactic is to play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney on the Switch while I watch
Yeah.
the movies.
The objection.
There was just, like, a few things, like, they say retard and shit like that. And,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of, like, gender-based jokes and stuff. Like, just stuff that I don't think
Yeah,
we've seen.
Well, because this feels like a kind of pretty early case of like having a dig at like woke culture and the way kids are going.
Yeah, and it's funny.
That's not how I read those.
I don't
jokes.
read it like that
I
at
didn't
all.
read those jokes at all. I thought it was.
I read it.
pro-woke movie.
Yeah, I read it
Yeah,
as
I
like
think
they're wrong for thinking
Yeah,
otherwise.
Jonah Hill and Jane Hamm are dumbasses for not getting on board with these
Yeah.
cool woke kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
I think there is some of
But
it
also,
of like,
like-
overly woke stuff.
But
But
Dave
I think
Franco's
it is also-
character
Franco's
is,
like
like,
kind of
annoying,
pussy in
yeah.
it. Like, yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah,
made
but
out
meet
to-
a work person that isn't
No, but
kind
I
of a
think
pussy.
It's
Like,
also making fun of like all of the like kind of popularity tropes that you used to kind of see
Yeah.
in
Yes.
movies, which is that whole Channing Tatum character.
Yeah, I think
I-
what
I
I meant
think
is that
bullying.
because Dave Franco is like an evil
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, sure. But the way I read the
But
film,
you don't
I
hate
love
him. I don't hate him.
I love Dave Franco. I
Oh,
think
you
he's
don't
so sick.
like him though.
You
Like
don't
he's
like
obviously
him.
meant
You're
to
like,
be.
oh, he's annoying.
obviously
I don't
meant
want
to be a
talk to him
douchebag.
at a
But
party.
I think the
but-
joke there is the reinterpretation of like high school popularity, which is inherently bad, and like cool high school kids have
sounds
been
like
villains.
someone who wasn't popular in high school.
Well, I was gonna say this because B has a podcast called "Were You Hot in High School." We could do our own version based off this movie
All right,
called
let's do
"Were
one real
You
quick? No.
Were You Cool
No, I
in
was
High School?"
disgusting and people hated me. Are you happy now? Is
Also-
that what you want?
Yes.
also no.
They beat the shit out of me. Is that
I
what you
wasn't
want?
hot in high school.
No, I wasn't saying hot. I was saying like cool or popular.
Yeah, popular. Well, hotness is, if you listen to the podcast, it's actually all about hotness and popularity.
I do
It's
listen.
all
I've
one
actually
same
been on the
thing,
podcast.
okay?
Okay, well,
In high school, I got tied to a pole and beaten up. Is that funny?
yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's hilarious,
Yeah,
actually.
that is
Can we
quite
do
funny.
that this afternoon?
Sorry.
I love that for you.
I got some duct tape.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
fucking
I was
do
just
that.
waiting
That
for the
sounds like
moment
fun.
you-
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not adding this for the bit. They tied me to a pole, stripped me, then beat me up. That happened to me.
Well, that's
Can we
probably
leave
better. It
out
doesn't
the
ruin your
stripping
clothes.
part, and then we'll do it.
yeah, it was weird because they were playing Pony by Genuine as it happened.
And how do
Hitting
you
you
feel
with
when
the,
that
like,
song is
bleh,
played?
bleh,
Bleh, bleh.
How do I feel
Really
that song
bludgeoning
plays? I'm a red-blooded man, aren't I? No, what I was saying about the Franco thing is that thing is they're taking the trope of like popular people in high school suck. How do we reimagine this positive thing in like how it's like an adult imagining how a woke kid could be popular
But I think it's
in high school, which I think is
true,
like
though.
fun and
But
funny.
I think it's actually true of like what popularity is these days.
You're hanging out
Like,
at a lot of
it's-
high schools, B?
Yeah. Well, actually, I graduated in 2014, so it's actually quite recent for me.
I'm gonna put a
I
bullet in my.
I only do it because I know you absolutely hate it.
I was doing comedy in 24. Me and Rose had done like 2 split bills by then.
Yeah. I'd
But
been in it for 3 years.
It is true. Like you kind of, well, at least like in not every fucking high school, obviously, but like there is kind of like it is kind of seen as like not being cool to be like that jockey stereotype anymore.
I reckon that still exists in a lot of places.
I still think it does, but I think it's shifted a bit more.
Yeah.
If you went to my high school, shit is exactly the same.
I would guarantee.
St.
that
Paul's
stuff
Catholic
at
College
my
Manly
school,
is not changing its ways.
Well, my grade was kind of different in that, like, my friend group were kind of who everyone looked up to, and it was purely because... But it was purely because we were the drinkers.
Shut up!
Seriously.
Shut up!
It's very fun.
Seriously.
Everyone looked up to me and my friends in high school.
No, but it was because we were the drinkers.
Oh, man. You can't...
Maybe
we
looked up
can't
to
just
is
let
not
you
the
get away
right
with that.
thing.
What do you mean can't get away with that?
Claim that everyone looked up to you in high school?
Not looked up to me, but,
Yeah,
like, you know what I
think that's
mean?
the wrong
Like,
word. I think
yeah.
it's more like
Looked up to is so fun.
we were kind of the bridge between the, like, jockey people
that's
and the
fine.
nerdy
Yeah,
people
yeah.
or whatever.
But to say, yeah, everyone looked up to me in high school is...
No, well, I mean, I was roundly disrespected.
She
Like,
was
now
very
we're talking.
cool.
yeah.
I have a friend who, like, no joke,
But well liked.
would say that with a straight face. And, like, he was popular enough, but now, like, at 33, for him to still be talking about
It's
it,
crazy.
it's hysterical. Where he's just always like... He's done it to me, like, a couple of times, because me and my other mates used to always talk about it, because, like, he's not a loser by any stretch of the imagination, but, like, he's kind of, like, he's very much the same guy, and he's lovely and stuff, but he loves to fucking get drunk or get on
this
pills.
Jody?
No. And have D&Ms, and then be, like, occasionally he'll always slip and be like, yeah, going through, like, the tough time, like, I know, like, it hurts you to see me like this because you've always looked up to me.
Oh
and you're
my
just sitting,
God.
you're just sitting there
That
with,
sounds like the worst.
no, because it's so funny.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just like,
I think what I
I'm
meant-
just like, yeah, buddy, and I got my phone down by my thigh
I would just be like,
texting.
shut up.
I think what I meant is that, like, popularity wasn't really a thing in our grade because we all got along.
Yeah,
that's what
no.
cool. That's what
But
popular kids
I guess
say,
an
though.
interesting.
Yeah, I
No, but, like, we
question-
really
If
did.
you ask the kids who beat me up in high school, if our year got on, they'd be like, "Man, I miss high school so much." Me, everyone
Yeah.
knew you were friends. We were because they don't
Yeah,
understand.
we were
I-
the fucking
we
idiots.
hated them.
Hierarchy.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
probably,
yeah,
I
yeah.
'Cause they're
probably,
at the top. They don't say
Yeah.
it.
but I probably mostly mean like year 11 and 12 when like all the
Oh, but
like-
everyone chills out.
yeah, like all the
Everyone chills
all
out.
the shitty people left, and like it was just like if you had a party, everyone was allowed to come. Like
Definitely
it
not
was-
the case in my school.
Yes.
Like, there
Nah.
was a group
Like
of
the Mean
people-
How many
Girls
people were
were
in
not
your
well
grade?
liked.
Yeah.
There
By
was
the
like
end,
3...
about 110 maybe.
Yeah, I would
Also,
say we
all-
had about 100, and there was at least 4 groups that would not
We
go
had
to parties.
250.
Mm.
I also think
There'd
if
be like
you're-
select few people here and there that
I
wouldn't
think
go.
I
but-
think also if you're not a unisex school, it enforces the hierarchy. Sorry, if you are a unisex school,
we were.
Wait, which one's unisex? I went to an all boys school, and that enforced the hierarchy more than if it was a co-ed school.
Well, also I think all boys schools are just psycho.
They are. They
yeah.
are psycho.
But
That's
I'm-
what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
10 times worse.
All
You went
girls
to all
schools
girls,
are
right?
horrific
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
right? Though.
Oh yeah, but like it's not like quite as physical as
yeah.
like
It's like you
boys'
had
schools.
to just be prepared to get punched
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
any.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
like nice
With
school.
the-
Like
with
it wasn't.
with all girl schools. It's like way more insidious and
Yeah,
like
like
fucking
psycho
mind games
manipulation
and
and
shit like
toxic
that.
shit.
I've heard
Yeah.
stories about Loretto curability that's like, oh my god, I don't even want to talk to a woman ever again.
Yeah, I know a
It's
couple.
crazy.
I know a couple of people who
My
went there. and
auntie was
they're
a
trash.
teacher and nun. It's like a Loretto nun who taught English at Loretto Curability
She
for a long
hot?
time. My 80-year-old nun auntie. Yeah, man, she's fucking fine.
I thought she might be.
She's got a fucking ass on her.
You could see it. What do you call the robes? Are they just robes?
Well, the hat's called the
habit.
habit.
It's called the habit. It's called the habit. The whole outfit's
Isn't
the
there a
habit.
and that's why
Windle or a
Sister Act 2
bindle
is
or-
called Back in the Habit.
We
There's
dare
a
not
winter
mention
time.
that movie on the podcast.
Why?
It's got a relation to someone I really don't like.
Isn't there a
Whoopi
wimple?
Goldberg?
That might
No.
be two people talking. There might be specific names. I just know the whole thing is called a habit. The hat and stuff might have a name.
I think I know the word wimple from Buffy the Vampire
I'll look it up. You might be right.
Yeah.
Wimple.
My auntie doesn't wear the habit, so I don't know. She does like missionary work in Vietnam, so I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
she
yeah.
does.
Bad doggy style.
What about reverse cowgirl work in Manila?
I do a bit of
Auntie Margaret fucking gets it, dude.
Yeah, we did it.
I do a bit of missionary work in that room over
Yeah.
there.
Hey Jamie, you know how before we were talking about fucking our wives before?
Yeah.
Well, my auntie is a bride of Christ, if you know what I'm saying.
Fuck yeah.
Woo!
Man,
But-
you should add it to the shirts. You got to get shirts about fucking your wife.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would rule.
You look like you're about to say something.
You're right.
Yeah, but I'm
Wimple's
just
the head
waiting
thing. I agree
until
with that.
Hastings runs out of energy. No. I think an interesting question in relation to 21 Jump Street. So, considering who you were in high school, if you had to go undercover and you could choose what type of person you'd be in high school to go undercover, what people would you hang out with? Would you hang out with the same people? Would you try and be popular? What's your
I'd go
Stoners.
stoners?
I didn't smoke weed till I left high school, and to go back now, it's the only way I could.
Yeah,
Like I speak their language. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I reckon probably the nerdy kids.
Interesting.
Nah, they'd eat you alive. They're vicious, man. Nerds suck.
But like, what
You're
kind
too
of nerd?
sensitive. Like video game nerds.
I'm talking about like the nerds in this movie. They
Oh,
all seem
yeah.
like quite good
All-
natured.
They
Like,
seem
All the World of
fun,
Warcraft
yeah.
kids would eat you alive, I reckon. Like,
well, yeah, because they're little incels
yeah,
in
that's,
training.
that's
But
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what nerds mostly are.
That's literally what nerds mostly are.
Incels and training.
what about nerdy girls?
They're
Because that's what
sleeper
I would
cells for
gravitate to.
incels?
Is like the
Everyone
women.
knows through
Sleeper
Gamergate that
incels?
nerdy girls don't actually exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All yeah.
The great Adam Baldwin. told
Well, I
me.
bought some bathwater that would suggest different.
What kind of groups were you in high school?
I was in. Yeah, like what actually?
Yeah.
I was in like a little like 5-person group of like just the fellas, but like we were like pretty well liked,
Yeah.
but like not that top level.
Yeah.
And we
In-betweeners?
weren't getting more popular than the in-betweeners.
Okay,
like we were invited to all the parties and
Oh,
stuff,
sick.
but we weren't like we were light years away from interacting with girls in a proper way.
I was
We like throwing. Some of my friends like throwing rocks in puddles where people were sitting and eating lunch. That's the kind of discourse we
Hell
got.
yeah,
We also
tomfoolery, I'm all
in
about
year
it.
11 we invented a game called Rock Fights, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So it shows you where we were at.
Yeah.
I was
I'd like to play this Rock Fights. That could be a game for next week's podcast.
I was actually playing Rock Fights, and I just got a brand new like Nokia 6100, I
Oh,
believe,
no.
and fucking rock right in the pocket. And you're not going to tell your mum that you broke it through Rock Fights.
Yeah.
So I said it just happened. And
It just
That happened.
happened.
man, I went to the fucking Telstra store with my mum, and she was like, well, he says it just happened. And I was like, it did just happen. They gave me a new one. It's like literally got a huge crack in the screen. It like doesn't
just
work.
happened.
Yeah,
It's got
the-
rock
I was
dust
just
all
Like
over it.
people, yeah.
I was just sitting there, minding my own business, and then I heard this shattering noise.
Because like, the very same day, because like I like got hit, and I was like, oh shit, I should have taken my phone out. I go sit down, and then like it was the lunch, and then the next period was like assembly, where everyone has to go and put on like their full uniform and stuff. And just at the end of the rock fight, my friend Marty was like, "Big stick enters the fray," and chucked it, and it like went like a helicopter, and it hit my mate Davis in the head and knocked him out,
Davis.
and it knocked him out.
Oh my god.
That
And we
goes-
had to pick him up and bring him, and he was clearly concussed. Like he was just in there,
Big
like,
was this stick?
oh, like if I'm
Like-
do it with my hands,
Like basically a branch.
Yeah,
like
so
a-
it was
it's a branch.
it was,
At least,
yeah.
at least a
But
meter.
just
That goes some ways to explaining Davis.
yeah. Well, no,
I love
he
Davis.
he was like that long before, but like we had
The
him.
cunt who got concussed in this story once noogied me.
Oh, right.
Like a year ago. Like not that long ago.
That guy
At off
rules.
Broadway, noogieing me.
Yeah, and we kind of like propped him up in assembly, and he was kind of like skipping words and
Oh my
stuff. It was
God.
pretty funny.
Oh my lord.
So, like, do you reckon if you went undercover, you would just hang with the same?
No, I don't think so.
I think you'd go for Final Fantasy nerds.
no, because there's not.
Yeah.
The thing is, with Final Fantasy nerds, the trick to it is infiltrating popular people that secretly like it and bringing it out.
There's a lot of
them.
them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
I'd go for art girls.
I was so I
was thinking I
Fuck
might
heaps.
do like theater kid shit.
So I would.
Yeah.
We didn't have theater at my school. There's no drama or theater because it was an all boys school. But we had. I was in
Yeah,
the
and
art.
that's
That was gay.
Yeah.
Like that was official school policy. Acting's gay and you can't do it. But no, I was in the art nerd group in school, and it was a weird thing. Like in the totem pole, you're kind of like bottom of cool kids, top of the nerd kids.
Yeah.
Because you were kind of like socially literate.
Yeah.
But also you were still a loser. But also like because we knew girls, because it was like art kids and we could all talk to girls and whatever. We got invited to the parties because we like brought girls
the girls
and stuff.
Yeah.
So like we had a bit of social currency, but we're still very much losers.
Yeah.
And so, B, you say go back like undercover, so I'm my age now, but I am like just like through the magic of the game, I'm passing as an 18-year-old pretty easy.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
You just turn up there looking like you are now, but be
Yeah.
like, I'm Hungarian.
Just be like, who
How's
wants
it
to
doing,
fuck?
fellow kids?
Who wants to fucking party, dude?
Yeah.
They-
Been
No, I'm
shaving
saying
since
you're-
I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Like
Jamie
your
shows-
age
yeah,
when
sorry.
you're in the film. So they were like what? They're like
Early
20.
20s.
I think they must be like 25, I think.
Maybe
Yeah.
even younger,
Is it
man. Like if they're
Yeah.
straight out of the academy, the early 20s.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I saw something about 7
7
years,
years
so
later.
it's
Yeah.
like 25.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the easiest thing for me to do, and I'm just saying this as a general guideline, but like if you make friends with like the theater kids, you get a lot of access to people of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
And you get to do stuff that's not really lame schoolwork. And then like
creative things that you'd actually enjoy doing
yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamie, you're a performer.
Yeah. And then like you'd go to parties and impress them with a 25-year-old's drinking constitution.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true.
True.
As
That's
the only
true.
one.
Do you know what though? Like a fucking 18-year-old could drink me to death
Oh,
right now.
100%.
Like,
I disagree.
reckon so.
Yeah.
I would crush an 18.
I would.
Nah, man, I
have
used to-
not
When
I was
drunk
18,
as
a
much as
six-pack-
I have.
I used
When
to-
I was 18, a 6-pack of beers would get me pretty turned. Like,
man, when I was 18, I was drinking like a case in a day.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but what were you?
Yeah.
But what were you doing at the
Close.
end of it? Fucking like walking around like an idiot and throwing up everywhere, right?
no, I didn't vomit a lot. I passed out a lot.
Like a lot of people pass out. Like I'm saying, like I
Yeah,
could over
right.
a day you could crush a case, and
That's
like
true.
you'd become an information broker as well because you'd be the only one that remembers everything at the party because your constitution's just better. So you
Yeah,
could just
and
be
also
like,
you could
Yeah.
buy alcohol.
yeah, and you'd just be like, Kelsey, you should have heard what David was saying behind your back. You
and
thought,
also I
there
got
you
them
go.
connect for
Damn.
those things to keep me a bit more up and alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "How's she not asleep by now?"
So very
Man.
quickly you become the source for all gossip, and you become king or
Yeah.
queen
last night I did something I haven't done for a while, which I don't do very
or
often.
non-binary royalty.
What?
Have sex with your wife.
No, that was this morning. No, I got like proper drunk, like not just like a few beers, like proper drunk. Like I went out drinking and like no drugs. Haven't done that in a while. It's such a weird feeling. Like, it's been like proper
Wait,
drunk.
It's really
no
sloppy.
drugs.
like as in like 15 drinks
I think I
drunk.
did that
no
on
drugs.
Friday.
I did
That
that on
Weird,
Thursday.
like-
I did that with like former guest Lauren Bonner on Thursday, and
Oh, yeah.
she was chaos drinking like I've never seen
Yeah.
her, and we
Well,
all got
we love
swept
it.
up in that, and I felt like trash on Friday.
Yeah.
It was,
I did it last
was
night.
horrible.
It was sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's why you do it. That's how you take over the school.
Yeah,
Man, let's-
I think that's a good strategy.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about this movie. Just for, we only got a few minutes
Would you?
left.
I will ask you this,
Yeah.
Hastings.
Please.
You're undercover.
I'm listening.
Would you?
Because it is kind of like it's obviously implied that
Yeah,
like Brie
20.
Larson is 18,
18.
I guess,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
still.
No, I was
Still a
checking
bit
pretty
weird.
closely when I was watching for personal reasons. They do explicitly say she's 18.
Yeah.
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 So
It's like it was kind of heavy-handed when they said it.
Wait, I
Yeah.
didn't even. When did they say that?
There's a bit where she's talking to Jonah Hill in like a flirty moment where she goes, "Well, I'm 18," and I blah blah. And it's like she didn't need to say her age.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
They
right.
said it so we know. Like,
But I knew that the kiss was coming when that happened.
yeah,
Like they're
sure.
so explicitly
'Cause they're
been
like,
she
just
is
on the
of
line.
age.
Brie Larson is like
A phenomenally
fire.
beautiful woman,
Fire.
Yes.
and also a great actress.
Yep, Captain Marvel herself. I wouldn't mind.
Marvel and those captains.
Jesus Christ!
Set him up, knock him down.
I mean, where could you go with that?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
I was like,
Yeah.
I've never read Captain
stopped-
Marvel, so I
I-
couldn't be like, yeah, she
Yeah.
was a crow.
I stopped
Crawl.
because I wasn't happy with where my riff was going, and Jamie
he
appropriately
saved you.
Jamie
He
appropriately toned it down. I was going to say Marvel of that pussy. That was where I was going with that.
Okay.
Which is look, we can all agree that's
I mean,
too
the
much.
captains is good.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
James
that
was better.
also assumes that
I'd
you call
salute those
tits
captains.
Jamie got what I was going for, and then made it,
Funny.
palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, hey, would you?
Look, how old am I in this scenario?
25.
18 and 25?
Yeah.
Nah, that's too.
B,
Nah.
No.
would you?
No.
24? Maybe. 25? Nah.
Man, I mean, why are you even going then? Like,
Would you?
yeah, probably.
They call it 21 Jump Street because 21's my
I just
limit.
wouldn't be able to deal with
Yeah.
any 18-year-olds. Like, I
Yeah.
reckon if I went back, I would just be like, shut up.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone,
yeah, like when I was
fuck off.
when I was like 20.
Nothing matters.
I think I've got to like.
I was like 23 and working in the bottle shop with like fresh 18-year-olds,
Oof.
and I was just like, I hate you.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I had to work when I was in Big W and I was like 23, 24. I had to work with like a lot of 14-year-old girls, and that was like I don't understand
That
what you're
sucks.
saying.
That's
Yeah,
like my
that would've
old
been
work
hard.
Hired a 15-year-old, and I like she would just talk to me, and I would just be like, I don't care what you're saying.
Yeah, it's funny
Nothing
to
matters.
think.
You're not a person.
It's funny to think that like, had we met earlier in life, like
We
I
would've-
would have just
yeah.
hated you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
too.
Me and Fletcher Lowe were talking about this the other week about how, like, we were talking about like bands that have existed for 40 years. Like, we're talking about the Rolling Stones.
4 years.
40, like
Oh,
40 years,
40
like
years.
big, long-term,
Right.
huge bands.
Metallica.
It's like 4 years.
Yeah, like one of those bands where it's like, oh, fuck, imagine if you just had to hang out with a guy you made friends with when you were 17
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
and there were millions on the line.
Imagine if you
Oh,
got
That's why they
married
all go
to
and live
someone
in
you were
different
dating when
cities
you
and
were
shit like that.
17.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get away from you.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Imagine if you had to marry someone you were dating when you were 17.
I know.
Oh, you just
pe-
stay together.
I know
and then
people
just have
who
children
have done
and
that.
not want them.
I know people who've done that.
Yep. 45 years in my case.
Do you meet your parents?
Yes.
I feel that was
Just
implied.
checking.
I had a couple of things I wanted to reference. One, just I thought the funniest joke was that they kept thinking things were going to explode.
Yeah.
And then finally what exploded was the truck full of chickens.
Yeah.
Which-
And then all the feathers go in.
Yeah.
The thing with the reveal with Johnny Depp and the other guy, I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
think for me
And
as well
also
with this
great
watch-
that they died.
Yeah, sick.
I think with this
Very
watch as
irreverent.
well
Yeah.
is like I think it was maybe the last time I'll watch it because like it came out in 2012 and I remember seeing it like at the cinemas and like we'd quote it and shit like that and then like watching it so many times and then the second one came out and rewatching it. I think I've watched this film enough.
Yeah,
So like I
sure.
kind of like didn't get as much joy as I did with the old watches and stuff because I knew where all the jokes were.
I still think "fuck yeah, motherfucker" is really funny.
Mm.
All
Oh,
the stuff where
Ice-
they're on drugs. is
Ice
great.
Cube is very funny in
Oh,
that
yeah.
role
Right.
as
All
well.
the meta shit with Ice
Oh,
Cube,
I
especially.
loved
is very
I loved
good.
his stuff where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a black captain and I'm angry, but I worked hard to be a black captain, and sometimes I get angry. I was like, this rules.
Yeah, it's
Ice
great.
Cube's sick, man.
Yeah.
They also play they play Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube's in the film.
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's specifically his
Yeah,
verse
yeah.
that
Yeah,
rap.
yeah.
Very funny. Very cool.
It
I-
starts with I'm Ice Cube or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I in
Crazy
particular,
motherfucker called Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Yeah. I in particular enjoyed Channing Tatum's storyline. It's very sweet.
Well, this
It's
was
a
the kind of the
well-written
beginning of
movie.
the Tatum songs, right? Where people
Yeah.
Well, I
like,
want to talk about that as well.
because
yeah.
like Magic Mike was like
Well,
fun and shit, but like this
Such a
was
good
like
movie.
but this
No,
is
Suck
all-
My Dick. Magic Mike's like the best movie. Like,
Yeah, no, I know Magic Mike's good.
I haven't seen it.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying
so good.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not here to say a bad word about Magic
I'm
Mike.
so gay.
Like people started like taking more note of Channing Tatum then, but this it was like, oh, he's fucking funny. Like
Yeah.
he's
yeah,
really
he's so funny.
He's a really-
self-aware.
He's a really
He
good
can
actor.
play
I thought he was
self-aware.
really good in The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I haven't
So,
seen it.
like,
I
could-
feel like he holds his own against Jonah Hill as well, who was like
Yeah.
only a
Famous
comedic
comedic actor,
actor.
yeah. I think he's
thing.
funny.
oh, at that point, like
It's almost
probably
like
only
them like
comedic. Yeah.
switching. Like
Yeah.
this is the movie where they switch because like Jonah
Yeah.
Hill's still funny,
the
but
straight
a
man
lot
of
of it
those
he's
two.
kind of like a straight man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys, by the way, speaking of Channing Tatum and Magic Mike, do you guys want a Hastings Might Be Gay update?
yes.
I had a gay sex dream the other night.
It's not gay. It's bi.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Yep. I had a bi sex dream the other day.
Do you care
No,
to
you had
venture whom it was with?
It was with an anonymous man, but
A face you've seen in the street, but don't have a name
I'll
for.
say that he had some pretty nice hip bones. I like
Okay.
nice hip bones. What can I say? Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably still straight. Who cares? It's all dumb anyway.
spectrum.
Words are meaningless.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll just tell your mother we ate it all.
Oh, can we just end on that?
Forever.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if nobody's got anything else to say.
so
That's it.
anticlimactic.
And that's how I met your mother.
Mother.
That's how I met your mother. We ate it all.
Oh, we have absolutely made that
I
joke
guess
about
we-
5 times on the podcast
I
already.
guess we got to plug shit.
Wait,
yeah.
but have you guys seen the second one?
Yeah, it's so good.
The
Yeah.
second one's like
should
as
watch it.
good. Second one's as
They
good.
go to uni.
Well,
It's even more meta.
Yeah, it's so clearly set up for it at the end.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
You're going to college,
The
but
first joke, the first like great like so they come in to base again with Ice Cube and stuff. It's a bigger thing, and Ice Cube goes, "This time we got a bigger budget."
It's so much more meta. I think
The ending credits.
are so funny.
Oh, did you guys know this? I know it's on the Wikipedia page, but like for a while in development was a crossover between 21 Jump Street and Men in Black.
I heard about that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right.
They allude to that in the credits, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it, got,
yeah.
it
Right.
eventually got
in
cancelled.
the second one.
Yeah, I think a full script was written, but it
Whoa,
got cancelled.
sick. Give me that script.
I mean, we can probably just do that again, like that
I'd love to do
movie
22
soon.
Jump Street.
It's
Yeah,
so fun.
from now on, 2020, let's just do good movies. Let's just be
No,
nice to
let's
ourselves.
do some really
Although
bad
I must
ones.
say there was
We have
no
tried.
teen sex in that movie.
But there was teen kiss at least.
Yeah,
There was team sexual
teen
tension.
sexual tension.
I think you'll notice that I've changed the intro to teen sex comedies and things thereabouts.
Yeah, nice.
Because we've really
I think we can
diverted
just say
from that.
teen movies at
Like
this point.
novelty
Yeah.
shirts.
Teen movies, I think is fine.
Yeah. Do you have anything you would like to plug, B?
Oh yeah, like if you want to listen to my podcast, it's called Were You Hot in High School?
It's very good.
Look it up. Rosie's a guest.
Oops, I didn't mean to make it sound like I didn't like the podcast. I dropped something.
Follow me on
just like,
Instagram. Fuck. Shut up about your podcast.
Fucking
B.
Instagram now too.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram, Queen Bee. It's spelt the way you don't expect it to be spelt.
KWEE.
And _ BEA. That's it.
All right. What date is I got stuff to plug, but I don't know when this podcast comes out.
I have no idea.
All
This
right.
is coming out
Probably like mid-April.
yeah,
All right.
Mid-April.
early April maybe.
I'm going to just say some dates. If this is too late, just disregard. All right. I'm emceeing at Mike in Hand on March 26th if you want to come to that.
That's going to be...
Then I'm in America. If you happen to live in New York, I'm going to be doing some gigs in New York. I will post more and whatever about them lately. But if you're
He wants
somehow, yeah, that too. But if there's off chance you live in New York and you want to, it'd be like, man, it would be crazy if I saw Hastings from that dumb Australian podcast. Let's do just like literally just DM me. We'll figure it out. But I'm doing some gigs in New York. Then when I get back, I am doing Enmore Comedy Club on Tuesday the 14th. I'm doing the Store the 16th, 17th, and 18th in the Entertainment Quarter in Sydney.
So they just let anyone do that now, do they?
Oh my lord!
Where's the
Suck my
sign up
dick.
link?
And this is the one I'm most excited about plugging because on April 20th, 420 itself, the day itself, I will be hosting the Comedy Lounge in Sydney, and I am praying it's a weed-themed show. If not, that's fine. I'll just make it one.
It
won't be.
absolutely won't be.
All right, I'm going to talk to Reese.
Please follow me on social media, Rose Piper on Facebook, Rose Alice Piper on Twitter and Instagram. There you can find details of my Melbourne International Comedy Festival show, which is probably happening right now. It's called Goddess. It's at Mantra on Russell, 6 p.m. Tuesday to Saturday, 5 p.m. Sundays. Please come to that. I also got a show at the Sydney Comedy Festival. It's on May 6 and May 8 at 9:30 p.m. at the Factory Theatre. It's the same show. Please come to that. Thanks, Jamie.
Mid-April, don't fucking bother me. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Don't care. No
Kenny
gig.
Omega did an interview with the director just like you did.
I did it, baby. It's the article's live. Don't
Kenny Omega did a video with it.
Yeah,
It's
go
pretty
read
sick.
my article about Final Fantasy VII Remake, but don't DM me, don't bother me. I'm not doing gigs. I don't care. Bye.
Oh, also go see the Raw National Final, which B might be in.
No.
Maybe Hastings will be in.
Yeah.
Maybe Hastings
Maybe
this time.
Hastings.
Maybe Hastings. 12th time
Maybe.
lucky.
Deranged streaker storm stage.
What time would it be if you did it every year since you started?
Oh,
Like
this would,
8?
This would be
or
like
9?
9th year, 8th or
The
9th
hateful
year.
eight.
20.
I
I
reckon
started
you could
comedy
do
in
it.
2011. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But I started
Ah.
late 2011.
Yeah, I started early 2011.
So it'll be like 8 for me, I think.
Damn, you're an experienced pro.
I'm kind of like a veteran. By that I mean I don't mean experienced. I mean
As in
like,
no one cares about you?
Like I
But you're one of those veterans that's come back with PTSD and they're
yeah,
an
no, that's
asshole.
it. I
You
have
just spent your days forgotten about in
Yeah,
VFW
yeah,
halls.
exactly.
yeah, I have
Just
a purple
slowly
heart.
losing his mind.
I have a purple heart for depression and marijuana addiction.
And by that you mean your heart is the color purple because of that.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yes.
And being
Yeah.
poly, because apparently old people like to swing.
Man, I can't wait. Can't wait to
You're already there, brother.
catch some old... No, I'm like 30 years old. I'm not young. I shouldn't talk as if... I'm 30 this year. Oh, also in September it'll be my 30th birthday. Taking suggestions.
You're plugging that
Plugging
already.
that.
It's not, yeah, we're going. He wants to go to the strippers.
I think we're going to go to the strippers. B, you coming?
Sure.
Sick.
To the next step.
To the next step.
To the next step.
Happy Chinese New Year.